Hello again, and welcome to another of my vlogs, and welcome to my backyard. We've had some terrible weather in the last few weeks, and unfortunately I had a bit of an injury which kept me off the bike. But I'm getting over it now. In preparation for getting out on some more rides, I've been washing my bike, and I thought I'd take the opportunity to take you through the pre-ride checks that I do before I go out on any ride. I always start off by checking the pressure in the tyres, both front and rear. You could do this with a gauge, but most people just do it by feel. However, checking it by pressing on the top does not give you a proper pressure reading, as the walls of the tyre are designed to flex back up again whenever it hits a bump. The best way is to feel across the edges of the tyre, from side to side. If you do this just after you've pumped the tyres up to whichever your desired pressure is, then you'll soon get a feel for what is the right pressure. You might ask, what pressure should I pump the tyres up to? Well, on the sidewall of the tyre will always be the range of pressures that you should use. And I would suggest being somewhat just above halfway between the top and lower pressures that's suggested. This will give you comfort as you ride over uneven roads, but it will be resilient to punctures when riding over any debris. The next thing that I check are the brakes, because cycling without brakes could be quite fatal. Check that there's quite a thickness of rubber on your brake box, or in the case of disc brakes, your brake pads. New brake blocks are made with grooves through the rubber to remove the grime that can build up on the rims, and in wet conditions to dispel the water so that the brake pads can rub on the rims and slow you down. Ensure that the brake blocks are hitting the rim squarely, that they're not offset and maybe hanging down below the rim, that they're not at an angle. All of that would reduce your braking efficiency. And finally, spin the wheel and make sure that the brake blocks are not rubbing. If they are, then there's screws down on the brake bosses which allow you to adjust that such that the brake blocks are equidistant from the rims and don't rub as the wheel rotates. You can then check your braking efficiency by grabbing your brake lever, pulling it on, this is in this case for the front, and just pushing. And what you'll see is that if you've got good efficiency, the wheel will not turn and the back of the bike will start to rise. Conversely, for the back brake, if you pull that on and push backwards, the wheel should not turn, and you should feel that you're starting to pull the front of the bike upwards. If you do find that the brake levers touch the handlebars, then you'll need to adjust the length of the cable. These can be done by in-line adjusters like these ones, or even down at the brakes themselves with these turnbuckles. Next, I check that the quick release levers are in the closed position, both front and back. It's quite easy to catch these on things as you move the bike around in the garage, but the other thing you can do is lift the front and lift the back. If the wheels wobble in there, then the quick releases aren't tight enough and they just need a little bit of adjustment. Next, I check the handlebars. Will they rotate upwards and downwards? If so, these bolts need tightening. Alternatively, can I move it from left to right against the pressure on the wheel? If that's the case, then it's the bolt at the back here that will need to be tightened up. In this case, they're all fine. My final check involves the saddle. Can I twist it left or right? If it is loose that way, then it's the seat post clamp that needs to be tightened. Will it tilt? Will it move forwards or backwards? If so, then it's the retaining bolts underneath the saddle that need to be tightened. It's taken me a few minutes to explain the checks that I do pre-ride, but once you've got used to doing them, you'll be able to get through them in about maybe 90 seconds. It doesn't take long, and it just ensures your safety when you're out on the ride. Well, I hope you've found this interesting, and maybe you've learnt something. If you have, please hit the like button below, because that will help spread this video to others. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Until we meet again, safe cycling. Bye for now.